Hello everyone, this is Billie Topa Tate. It's a pleasure and an honor to be with you today. Yes, I have my wonderful chef outfit on, and I really love sharing this wonderful information about this class, a series of classes called the Sacred Kitchen Sanctuary. And it's so exciting because we're going to be sharing a lot of wonderful things. As you know, or maybe this is a new concept, that the kitchen is a form of self-care. And just like any self-care tool, it's a skill that we develop through techniques, knowledge, information, applications of things. So I want to thank you very much for all the wonderful phone calls and emails inquiring about these classes. And of course, they're wonderful classes that I've integrated into my kitchen. I really love my kitchen. I enjoy the alchemic things that we can bring into our kitchen to not only bring vitality to ourselves, but to our home. And I have some questions that people actually asked me in emails and phone calls about the class. I just want to share, though, that we're going to be doing this coming Sunday online or in person. Or if you can't make either, you can register and get the recording and watch it at your leisure. So the spirit and energy of our kitchen is so very important. And this is what creates beautiful energy in our home, and also a lot of wonderful things for the first class, creating a positive energy within our kitchen and the energetic meaning of our kitchen. Living and thriving and navigating energy into our kitchen, the benefits of mindful energy with our living space, and simple techniques of energy into our kitchen, and the placements and our intention for our mindful nourishment. But there are other things that we're going to be talking about, and we're going to be sharing techniques. I want to give you some takeaways today, some wonderful sharing things. One of the things that we can do, both men and women, is to balance our hormones through some food. And we're going to talk a little bit about that during the first sequence of training for the Sacred Kitchen Sanctuary. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the wonderful plant medicines that we can integrate into our smoothies or into our food, into our salads, and also enhance that medicine. So there's a couple of things that I do. I'm going to be 70 in March, and I am really enjoying bringing all this wonderful energy, these Apache traditions of food, wellness, and nature into our kitchen, and our blessing ceremonies that are very easy to do, but really bring energy up from our food. So balancing our hormones is really a very important tool. We cannot lose weight if our hormones are out of balance. We can't get good sleep if our hormones are out of balance. And also our bodies just work so much better when the hormones are balanced and when they are in homeostasis. So there's a couple of things I would recommend for both men and women. And more is not better, just a little bit of these things actually help, which is something called maca powder. Maca is M-A-C-A. And maca powder is really good. It's just a really good protein, but it also, you can integrate it into your smoothies. You can integrate it into cookies. I do maca balls, which they like these balls that have different kinds of nutrients like chia seeds and tulsi and all of those things. It just really balances the hormones really nicely for both men and women. And it's a really nice nutrient. The other thing that I really like to recommend, because it's an adaptogenic, is a plant called tulsi. Tulsi is a really good plant for balancing the hormones, but it also is an adaptogenic. That means it helps you to adapt to stress, and it's very good for the ecosystem in here. So you can drink it as a tea. We're going to talk about some medicinal teas that you can use in the class training too, which is really great. But also to incorporate some other things that might be very helpful for nutrients and things of that nature. Sprouts are really good for helping balance the hormones. You can juice them or you can snack on them. You can saute them with a little bit of organic onion, fresh cut organic onion, And there's a whole story about why the onions are so good, but we have to use them fresh. We can't cut them up and put them in the refrigerator and bring them back out the next day, because their job is to collect particles and bacteria and neutralize them in our environment, whether it's in here or out here. So when we cut them immediately, they go out to the environment and start collecting that. So that's why we don't want to cut those things and then save them for a couple of days. They have to be used fresh. And you'll notice that when you cut an onion, you can smell it you can smell it in the living room, or you can smell it down the block. It's a very powerful plant, and it does a lot of great things. But we'll talk about that in class. And so things like maca powder, tulsi tea, and things like holy basil, which is tulsi, and something called, the sprouts. We talked about sprouts, which are really, really good. You can snack on them. I recommend that you get or grow the sprouts, because they're really easy to grow. I'll talk about that in the class. And then put them in a Ziploc bag and take them with you throughout the day and snack on them before you eat anything else, because it does have a lot of what I call sun energy. So celery I used to call liquid sun, because it's got a lot of vitality from the sun. But sprouts have the same thing, and they do help us balance our hormones really, really nicely. And there are a lot of other wonderful things we're going to talk about in the class. But here's a couple of questions from some of the people who are going to be participating in the class. So one of the things that they asked about was, what is so special about the kitchen? Well, the kitchen is a symbolic representation of nourishment. Nourishing the mind, body, and spirit. And we sit by a campfire out in nature, and we eat and we drink and we share information and community in whether we're out camping or in our apartment or home. So it is a symbol of nourishment. And also, did you know that things like our contemplations and also the words we pick can actually project beautiful energy into our food. And there is a blessing ceremony that we're going to be sharing at that time to, in the class, to teach you how to connect with the plants and the food, and allow for the food to give you some beautiful medicine, even more than it has before. And so do know that the kitchen is definitely a form of self-care. And when we put a lot of wonderful energy into it and joy, and we are mindful about the eating of our food and enjoying our beverages, our body responds to that, our energy field responds to that, and we come away from that feeling more vivified, more balanced, and also that we sleep better and we sleep well, and then we go into the journey we call life in such a good way. So the Sacred Kitchen Sanctuary class, the first one is this Sunday from 10 to 12, and we're going to be also talking about setting a sacred intention with our heart center in the heart center of our kitchen, and some pharmacy of flowers. We're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about connecting with the food in a wonderful sacred way, and talking more about how to balance the hormones through nutrients and things of that nature that are really fun. Oh, and the other thing that I didn't want to forget to mention, as far as sprouts are concerned, you can saute them in onions and garlic, organic of course, and use them as a side dish. And they're really good. It's just a very light saute to really bring in all the more robust, delicious energies, the yummy energies of garlic and onions, which is really good, and some wonderful trace mineral salts would be delicious on the vegetable. So, having said that, I'm looking forward to seeing you in class. So please join us for the Sacred Kitchen Sanctuary to really build that in your home. And the proof is in the pudding. I'm hoping to see you in class. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.